Hello, and welcome to Appleton Engaged. I'm your host, Timber Smith, Special Assistant to the Mayor for Community, Culture, and Belonging. And Appleton Engaged is a podcast that explores the many people, organizations, and resources that make our community a great place to live, work, and play. So whether you're a longtime resident or just getting to know Appleton, join us as we learn more about our community together. Hey, Appleton Engaged listeners, how are you doing out there today? It is podcast day, which always makes me super happy because I'm excited to learn about another amazing resource in our community, helping to make this a better place. And this conversation I'm really excited about because anytime I don't really know anything about the resource, I'm ready to learn. So this is going to be a learning session because I don't know about this resource. But we're going to learn today, and we're going to learn it together. This week's guests are Kayla Yernesek, Mentoring Program Coordinator for Outagamie County Mentoring Program, and Nikki Gingras, Mentoring Program Coordinator for Outagamie County Mentoring Program. Hey, ladies, how are we doing today?
Doing good.
Great. Thank you.
Yes. Are we ready to jump into this episode?
We are.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Well, first we want you, if you don't mind, to please tell us a little bit about yourself and your association with Appleton and the surrounding Fox Cities region.
Sure. So I can go first. My name is Kayla Yernesek, and I grew up in the Appleton area. Specifically, I grew up in Kaukauna. I spent my entire childhood in Kaukauna, moved away for a few years, and attended college at UW-Madison. And then I came back to this area because my family's here, my husband's also from here, and now I have the opportunity of raising my own family in the Appleton area. And, you know, the Fox Valley has always been my home, and I really enjoy this community. I care about this community and the people here. I worked at Outagamie County for almost 15 years, and I just really enjoy serving this community and hopefully helping the kids here through my work.
Awesome. We got a term for that. It's called boomerang. All right, Nikki.
I'm Nikki Gingras, and I was not born in this area. I was born in the UP, Marquette, Michigan. I went to school at Michigan State, and then I met my husband, also from Marquette, and we moved to the Valley, and that was many, many years ago. So I've spent over half of my life here, and we obviously love this area and raised 2 children, went to the Kimberly School District. Now they're young adults, and been in this program as mentoring program coordinator for over 13 years, and I absolutely love it. And like Kayla said, we're just trying our best to help as many kids as we can get matched with mentors because we've seen the tremendous impact it has on their lives.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to learn about this mentoring program. So could you please share a little bit or share a lot of it about your resource?
Absolutely. So our program is called the Outagamie County Mentoring Program. We're located inside the Outagamie County Youth and Family Services building, which is on the corner of 5th and Walnut here in Appleton. And we've been around for a long time, probably longer than most people realize. So our program was established in 1976, and at that time we were called the Outagamie County PALS program. So we've been serving kids in Outagamie County for nearly 50 years. And what we do is, at the Outagamie County Mentoring Program, we match kids with volunteer mentors from the community. Our mentors spend time with the child that they're matched with on a regular basis, and they really just work on building a trusting relationship, doing fun and positive activities together, and just being that positive role model for the child they're matched with. And through that, they're able to help boost the child's self-esteem and give them an opportunity to practice their social skills, and also really just encourage the youth to make positive choices for their future. The kids that we serve are all between the ages of 6 and 17, and they're referred to our program by a county social worker. So overall, our goal is just to match kids with volunteer mentors that will inspire them and empower them to be the best versions of themselves.
How many kids do you currently serve?
So currently we have about between 40 and 45 matches, In last year, 2024, we served 56 kids over the entire year, but we usually have a wait list of kids as well that number doesn't include.
And how many people are on your team? Or is it just you two?
So it's just the two of us, and we are the only two program coordinators, and then our supervisor is a supervisor in our youth justice department, so he supervises our program as well as some other social workers, but we are the only two program coordinators.
All right, this sounds like something that definitely is a team effort, just because right away you mentioned that you get referrals from the county social workers. What other departments do you work with? Because this sounds like a great opportunity for partnership and to get things done.
So we do receive referrals from two divisions, the Child Welfare Division and the Youth and Family Services Division. So the Youth Justice and Child Welfare social workers are referring to our program. But once they're able to make the referral, then we kind of take it from there.
What do mentor matches do together?
Well, good question. I think it's important to start with a lot of people when they think about being a mentor have this really they get a lot of pressure on themselves for what am I going to do with this kid? What are we going to do? Like things like this. Honestly, it's just doing really simple things together, incorporating them into your life, doing daily errands. They love dogs. Walking your family dog, hanging out at your house and making dinner or cookies together, going to the YMCA, going to the library, the movies, things like that. So it's really important to know that you just have to be yourself and share your common interests with the mentee and expand their horizons, show them new interests and hobbies, and that's kind of what we're all about. We do have match goals when the kids and mentors are matched, and that's something to keep in mind too if they want extra help with a subject in school, if they want to learn more about rocks, I don't know, anything like that they want to learn about. The mentor will kind of pick up on that and say, hey, how can we do that? Let's go to the library. Let's go to the museum, maybe the children's museum, something like that together. We also do, as a program, sponsor about 5 events a year that all mentor matches are invited to. Badger Sports Park, we've gone to the Trout Museum. We're going to a herd game.
Oh, you got me there.
Yeah, right?
That's a favorite.
Yes. Things like that. So again, it's to maybe give these kids a new experience that they have not been able to have before. And for a lot of times we'll ask or ice skating, we're going ice skating next week. It's the first time for a lot of kids to do that. Even I know when we went to the Trout Museum, I don't think anyone, even mentors, had been there. So it's a really cool opportunity to just show them different things to do in the community, to use the resources and learn new interests and hobbies.
Yeah, you wouldn't get me on the ice, but you had me with all the others. Well, how does matching happen? How do you actually take a person who wants to be a mentor and find their best match to one of our young people who need this mentorship?
Yeah, so we recruit volunteer mentors from the community, adults 18 and over, to be matched with a kiddo, like Kayla said, 6 through 17. And how we do the match is it's not who is next on the wait list. It's interest-based, who we think would be the best match with this mentor and child. So that means you could wait a year or you could wait a few weeks. That's how it is. It's just what we think would be the best match together. We do talk to the mentors after interview with them about, we pick a few kids who they think would be the best match for them. They definitely have a say in who they get matched with. They're not told. So they have a part in that process for sure. And once they choose the child they think would be the best fit for them, we have a match meeting, and they set their schedule from there. We're a very flexible program. The schedule is completely up to the mentor and the family. We do ask for 4 to 8 hours a month, which is every week or every other week, just to get together and do the activities like that I've already explained. So that's how we match.
Okay. So you said it's a flexible schedule.
Mm-hmm.
The expectation is approximately 4 to 8 hours a month.
Yes.
And outside of those activities you mentioned, you can just go do and give this young person time and do cool things with them.
Absolutely.
Am I hearing that right?
You are. And it's flexible. And we stress the one-on-one. So these kiddos are ones that need, that little bit of extra time, just one-on-one with an adult. They get all their time and attention for that couple hours, and wonderful things transpire from that.
That sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, my next question is like, how does this differ from like Big Brothers Big Sisters and other programs that focus on mentorship for our youth?
That's a great question, and it's one we get a lot. I think there's two really big ways that our program differs. And the first and foremost is the population that we serve. So we mentioned that the kids in our program are all referred by county social workers, which are social workers with the Youth Justice Division or the Child Welfare Division. And the reason we serve this population of kids is because they're usually more likely to be a kid who needs a mentor, but also least likely to be a kid who naturally has one in their life. So we want to help the kids in the community that need us the most, and that is our goal through our program, which makes us unique. But the second thing that makes us unique is just the size of our program. So we are a smaller local county program. Like we mentioned, it's just Nikki and myself. We're the only two program coordinators. But I think this can be really beneficial to, especially for our volunteers. When looking at it from a volunteer perspective, the people that interview you, help you through the application process, train you, it's the same two people that are matching you, following your match, and providing that support every step of the way. And we've heard from our volunteers that they really appreciate that consistency. And then also being a smaller program gives us that flexibility that Nikki was mentioning, where we can tailor make individual goals for each child. And depending on their needs, the activities can change, the goals can change, the schedule can change. And so that can be really helpful. And we can change the variety of the match themselves. Most of our matches, like Nikki mentioned, are one-on-one, but we also have couples that will mentor a child or a family that will mentor a child. So there's just a lot of variety. Being a smaller program, a lot of flexibility there. And one last thing that I think is pretty unique to our program is that the kids can be in it until they're 21. So all of our kids are matched before they turn 18, but once they are matched, a child can stay in our program until they're 21, which really gives those older teens a chance to help transition into adulthood with the support of a mentor.
Is the only way to get in this program is through the referral from a social worker? I mean, I'm thinking like there might be a parent listening to this or something like that, and they're thinking, wow, I could really use that, but may not be in that situation where that social worker referral would happen. Is there any other ways to get connected into the program?
So the only way into the program is through that social worker referral. And that's partly to the size of our program. We can meet the needs of that population. So there are other programs in the community for other people who are interested in mentoring. The other thing is you just need to have one family member working with a county social worker to get a referral. So a lot of times we're not working with the child who has a social worker, but maybe their younger sibling who might need a mentor. And so that's a possibility as well.
Okay. And how do you find the mentors? Because, since this is, I want to say, a little smaller and probably not as well publicized,
No.
or maybe not publicized at all.
Yeah.
How do mentors find you? How do you find mentors?
Yeah, so that is definitely our biggest challenge and our biggest need. We currently have usually 30 kids on our waiting list. I think right now we have about 25 kids waiting to be matched with mentors. So we do our best. Nikki and I are both social workers by trade, so we're not marketing professionals, but we do our best to reach out through social media, through opportunities like this to share about our program. Our current mentors do a great job of spreading the word about their positive experience, and so we get those like word of mouth referrals. But it is definitely a challenge.
Why is mentoring so important for the kids in our community, and maybe these kids in particular?
Yeah, well, there's a tremendous amount of research showing that supportive adults are powerful protective factors for kids.
Facts.
Yes. The presence of a trusted adult relationship in childhood can really improve a child's mental health. It can help them overcome childhood adversities, and it can even help them heal from trauma. So these caring adult relationships are really important, and we see that in our mentoring stats. We see that kids who meet regularly with mentors are less likely to skip school. They're less likely to start using drugs and alcohol. They have a reduction in depressive symptoms. On the other hand, they're more likely to have an improved parent-child relationship. They're more likely to get involved in extracurriculars and go to college. And those are the national mentoring stats. But even when we survey the kids in our program, last time we surveyed them, 96% of our mentees reported that they felt more confident in themselves. They had a more positive view of their future, and they were learning to solve problems in more appropriate ways. So it's so important because it really installs hope in the kids, and that's very powerful. And one other thing to mention is that our program is completely voluntary. So the kids that are matched with mentors and the kids that are on our wait list are saying, I want a mentor in my life. I want to spend time with them. So when you've got all this research, documenting the positive effects of mentoring, and then you've got these kids asking to spend time with a mentor, it really becomes a no-brainer.
What is a myth or misconception that people might have about a program like this?
I think one of them would be looking at recruiting mentors and why people don't become mentors is fear of the unknown. These kids, what problems do they have? Are they going to want to meet with me? Are their parents going to, like Kayla said, we've screened for that, but are their parents going to want me in their lives? Just they kind of think of they overthink it and talk themselves out of it is what I think. All the parents, everyone's on board for it. They very much are wanted in these kids' lives. So know that, first of all, just because of where we get our referrals from, I think there might be a little bit more fear with that. But they're just kids. And even when the mentors meet, they're just kids who need somebody. And that fear just really dissipates quickly. But I think all the what ifs, and if people do have what ifs, please call us and we'll talk you through that. Some people do want to still talk on the phone, which is fine with us, and talk about their fears or their questions, or email us, and we will be glad to talk about any of that and walk you through what that looks like with any potential mentors.
Who are these people that still want to talk on phones?
Not many, but we get a few. We do.
All right. Well, at this time, can you please share a story with us that'll help the Appleton Engaged listeners understand the impact of this program?
Sure. We have a million little stories, is what we say. And I always feel like mentoring, it is like teaching, and I like planting seeds. You're planting seeds. You don't know which ones will grow when, how big they'll grow, but you're definitely planting those ideas in their head, those seeds of what could be. But just smaller things. We've had, boys have a mentor, teach them how to shave because there's nobody how to do that. Like I said, simple things, right? Teach them how to tie a tie. We've had mentors, like Kayla said, being that we stay with the kids till they're 21. When they graduate, take them to the tech and show them different programs they could get involved with. We had a young man was interested in auto mechanics. His mentor showed him the program. He enrolled in it and was successful that way. We've had a mentor and anybody who's worked with teens or has teens in their lives know that they might not be the most appreciative at the time, but it was a good match. It ended. And then years later, the mentee contacted the mentor through Facebook and wanted to give him just all his, thanks and appreciation for what he did for him and how it meant so much in his life. And that just meant the world to the mentor. The mentor, called us and told us about that. That was an awesome story. So the little things along the way, I think, are making a big impact. Like Kayla said, the evidence, backs it up. Our statistics back it up. We've had kids, tell us their thanks and what it means to have a mentor, and it pulls at your heartstrings. So we've had a lot of success stories along the way like that.
Yeah, I think one of the most impactful things for me is just hearing from the kids. We'll do match reviews at like the 6-month mark, and then we'll see the matches a lot at our program events. And each year at our holiday dinner, we have the mentees share what they like most about their mentor. And it's amazing what they share. And it's just this like outpouring of love for their mentor. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's, this year we had a girl share about how she loves that her mentor always puts her in a better mood, always makes her laugh, and that her mentor is her best friend. And that's definitely not the first time I've heard that from a kid in our program. So it's just amazing to see these kids light up when they get to spend time with their mentor. And then we have some of these other stories where, like our longest match, in recent history anyways, was a 14-year match. A girl was matched when she was maybe 7-ish, and she stayed all the way through until she was 21. And now that relationship is no longer part of our program because she aged out, but they continue to see each other. They have formed a lifelong connection. And that's, those stories have always been the most impactful to me.
That's pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely the power of mentorship and connection. You started listing some events that occur. What are those? What does the program do for events?
So we have usually, like Nikki said, about 5 group outings a year. Sometimes we do a little extra, but we just love to have the matches get together. It's great for mentors to be with other mentors and for mentees to be with other kids. And so we do things like we do a holiday party every year. We do ice skating, Badger Sports Park. We'll go to a Timber Rattler game, and just kind of those pro-social activities that give the matches an opportunity to interact with other matches. And then we also have some events that are specific just for mentors. So we'll offer, training throughout the year for our mentors, not only the initial stuff to get them up and running, but then also, various topics that may impact the mentees that they can learn about throughout the year as well.
Okay. So there is a training to help you learn how to be a mentor, because that would be very helpful.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the big myths too, is that you have to have have experience working with kids or have kids of your own or have some kind of, work experience in that field. And you really don't. We have mentors from every background. We have mentors who are accountants, and yes, we do have like retired teacher or something like that, but that is not the norm. We will provide you with any training and all the support that you need to make sure that you're successful.
And I also just want to add quick, mentors can be, I think we just got an inquiry from an 18-year-old, which is the youngest you can mentor. And I'll have people maybe retired and they have sometimes, I'm too old to be a mentor now, right? I'm like, no, you are just actually the perfect age. Our oldest mentor was 80 and she was awesome. And so I just want to get that out there too. Don't think you're too old. We have every age group in our mentoring program.
The 80-year-olds who I'm worried about, because they get up early and they move fast.
She was a role model for me. They are more active than I am sometimes, so for sure.
Is there anything the community can do to be helpful?
Absolutely. Okay, like Kayla said, we have about 25 to 30 kids on the wait list consistently. Our biggest need is more mentors, just to say it again. If you have any interest in it, check out our Facebook page, our website, call, email us, whatever you want to do for more information. But our biggest thing that the community do is actually be a mentor. If you cannot be a mentor, we ask that you still like our Facebook page, share our posts. That goes a long way to help us recruit some mentors. We also have yard signs that are available to pick up at our office, like Kayla said, at the Youth and Family Services building, which has actually been pretty productive for us for finding mentors. Also, with so many kids on the wait list, you or your business could sponsor a wait list event. You could sponsor an outing for us, just so the kids, have more activities to do, things like that. And if it's not the right time for you, keep us in mind. And it's all about timing, just like life in general. Keep it in the back of your mind, something you might want to do. We have mentors who have thought about it literally for years before they apply. And then they start with us and they love it. So,
well, I'm thinking you're talking to the right audience, because I promise you, these Appleton Engage listeners, they are about that life.
Awesome.
They are connected in this community. They are making amazing things happen. I think we touched on this a bit, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How can people contact you if they would like to learn more about getting involved?
So you can contact us via email. Our email is hhsmentors@outagamie.org. That's probably the quickest way to reach us. You could also give us a call. Our number is 920-832-5961. But if you're just kind of curious about the program and want to learn a little bit more, like Nikki said, I'd encourage you to check out our Facebook page. You can see some pictures of some of our current matches, like in action, and see what that's all about. So I would encourage you to start there.
Well, at this time, is there anything that we didn't ask a question about that maybe you would like to share with our Appleton Engage listeners?
Just, I think, it doesn't take that much time to change these kids' life. And you will change your own for the better as well, I guarantee it. I just got some feedback from a mentor who started with us, and she said, I can't tell you how much I love mentoring, and I'm so glad I started this. But it's taking that first step, and it is scary, and you're forming a new relationship with someone. That's always scary, right? But I mean, we have a retention rate that's awesome. We have mentors, once a match ends, they've come back for 10, 15 years, for several matches. So I think that speaks, well of our program and our kiddos and how we screen and things like that. So I just think taking that first step, even if it is just calling or emailing us for more information, is important. But we're asking for 4 to 8 hours a month. Every other week is fine if you can't do every week. So think about how you might otherwise fill that time, and you could fill it really changing the life of a kid and your own as well.
Well, Kayla, Nikki, it is shout-out time. So it is your opportunity to give some shout-outs. Who we shouting out this week?
Well, first and foremost, to our mentors. They're awesome. They do what they do, changing lives. They're spending their time and their resources on these kiddos, and it's going to pay off in the long run. It already is for this community. And to the mentees who are meeting with their mentors and giving this program a chance and opening up to a new relationship that might be scary for a lot of them, and getting a lot of positivity back from that. We'd also like to thank our social workers with Outagamie County who refer these kids. Couldn't do it without them. And we'd also like to shout out to everybody, administrators at Outagamie County who support our mission and our program, from our supervisor to our division manager all the way up to the county exec, Thomas Nelson. We appreciate everybody's support in this program, and I think they obviously see the value in it, and we appreciate their continued support over the years.
Okay. Well, Kayla, Nikki, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Timber.
At this time, Appleton Engaged listeners, we are about to start wrapping up this episode. I just want to take a moment and say thank you for giving us your minds and your ears. Thank you for being interested in another amazing resource within our community, helping to make it a better place. In this case, taking care of our youth. And I can't think of a better thing to be doing because they are our futures. As you know, we are trying to become the #1 podcast in Northeast Wisconsin, and we can't do it without your help. So you're sitting there saying, how do I help, Timber? Well, I got answers for that. It's this. Number one, if you have questions that you would like us to ask the guests, please let us know. If you would like to be a guest, please let us know. And if you would like to recommend some guests, which is how I met Nikki and Kayla today, please let us know. You can reach us at belonging@appletonwi.org. Once again, that is belonging@appletonwi.org. Also, we truly believe that this is such a great resource, and that the more eyes and ears that get a chance to engage with this podcast, the stronger our community becomes, because we're learning about each other. We're learning about these resources to help make this a better place. How do we get in front of more ears and eyes? Well, it's called analytics. So while you're listening to this podcast right now, take a moment, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you've got another moment, hit us 4 or 5 stars. I don't even know why I gave you a choice. Really, just give us 5 stars. And also, if you have a few more extra moments, fill out a review. All of these things increase our analytics, and the better our analytics, the more people within our community get to learn about this amazing resource known as Appleton Engaged. So I'm going to personally challenge you out there, our listeners, our greatly involved listeners who help make this a better place and are involved in many, many different ways. Think about finding time to mentor. That would be awesome. This sounds like such a great opportunity and really low-hanging fruit, because they're gonna match you up. They're gonna hook you up, and they're gonna train you. It doesn't really get better than that. So until next time, stay thoughtful, stay curious, and stay engaged.